Welcome to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160. Everything you need to know about cars, buying, financing, trading, maintenance, repairs, auto body, and more. Join the program by calling 513-579-1160. Now, here are your hosts, Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160.
Good Sunday morning to you. It's a cold one this morning. You're listening to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel, where we talk about anything and everything automotive. We thank you for joining us this morning. You will be smarter for having listened. I'm Jimmy B. Remember, you can hear us anywhere in the world on the TuneIn Radio app, Radio Loyalty app, or live stream at dipsticksanddeals.com or realtalk1160.com. Third Wheel.
Good morning, Jimmy B. Good morning, everyone else. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and our WordPress blog. And for information about sponsoring the show, go to dipsticksanddeals.com and check out the Advertise on D&D tab.
If you have a question, you'd like to get involved in Dipsticks and Deals, give us a call, 513-579-1160. You can send us a message on Facebook. You can email us at ask@dipsticksanddeals.com. Information and entertainment for the American engine.
Not just because you drive cars, but because you drive America.
We've got Kenny Coltrane in the house again.
Well, good
today.
morning,
How you
y'all.
doing, Kenny?
How y'all doing this morning?
Was it cold riding that bike in here this morning?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it.
I could imagine.
I'm a all the way down the highway.
I guess we're getting into that time of year where it's going to get colder. The good thing is when it does start to get a little bit colder and we get into winter, it's time for Cavalcade of Customs in January down at the Convention Center, which we've been invited to be a part of, and we'll be at Cavalcade of Customs on January 11th through the 13th. We're going to do our show live from the Cavalcade pre-show on Sunday, the 13th.
Are you all going to let me go to that?
We haven't decided yet. It depends. It's going to be cold. What if there's snow on the ground? How are you going to get there on your bike?
I've ridden in snow before.
Kenny may have a car by then.
He could. He's trying to get his license back.
I could.
So.
It ain't looking good, y'all.
We might have to run by and pick him up. We'll see. Hey, we also want to mention our charities, the charity events and such that we sponsor here on Dipsticks and Deals. And, of course, Operation Troop Aid. Check out operationtroopaid.org. This is an organization that supports troops that are deployed, not just when they come home, but they put care packages together. They have folks on the ground who know where these troops are that are the furthest from supplies, so they're the most needed and most appreciated. You can go to troopaid.org, check out that, make a donation. They would appreciate it. You can actually see some of the troops, some photographs. In fact, they're a member of the CMA, Country Music Association, so they've got a lot of pull. In fact, there's a new, I think it's Charlie Daniels has just made a new commercial or infomercial about Troop Aid, so you can Google or YouTube that. Pretty cool stuff. Easy Street Speed and Customs.
701 Chamber Drive, Milford, Ohio.
513-831-7550.
Very cool place.
Dude, we can't talk enough about Easy Street Speed and Customs because it's right in line with what we do here on Dipsticks and Deals, but we've been out there for their car shows and stuff, but just to be out there and see some of the stuff that those folks do, I mean, is it not incredible?
If you're even thinking about trying to get into this collecting of custom cars or even starting a project where you want to work on yours, I recommend that you should go down there, check out how they do these things, and just look at their shop.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed. This is no joke.
Yeah, and if you're not sure what you might want to have done, and even if it's not an old collector or custom car and you've got a newer late model car, you're not sure what's available for relative to performance upgrades, same thing. Call Easy Street 513-831-7550 because they're going to be able to tell you what they can do, what you're going to get out of it, and they got the best prices on this stuff too. They can tailor it to what you're looking for, and they do quality work and stand behind it.
I can honestly say these guys, this is one of those companies that they love their job.
Oh man, that's like my dream job. It's to work in a custom shop of that caliber.
My dream job is just to own it.
I'd like to have some of the cars they have up. They do shop cars up there. They call them that are cars owned by Easy Street that they work on as projects, and they got some really really cool cars under construction, as well as their shops full all the time with customer vehicles. And they come from all over the place because they do have that name and they do that kind of work. Moving forward, Fear, Buick, GMC. What's hot out at Fear this week?
Well, you got a lot of the end of the month stuff. Still the same as Cash, the hybrid GMC. There's a lot. I mean, there's just a lot of end of the month, end of the year type deals going to be happening soon because the new models are coming into 213s.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. You should give them a call, 863-8111. Ask for Ray Tenley. And right now, I think it's till November. I'm not 100% sure, but they're at 2531 Dixie Highway, where they've been there forever.
Yeah,
in Hamilton,
moving
Ohio.
to a new facility.
Yes, they are up there.
Ultra modern.
129.
What do they call that place? That area out there?
What was that, Liberty Township?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have more details on that. Actually, you can check our website out and check out where they're going to be.
Bridgewater Falls.
Yeah, right across from Bridgewater Falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out Fear. They got a really nice selection of late model used cars too. So go up there when you're
Get online.
Yeah, get online and check out their inventory because if you're looking for something, they're going to have it, and if they don't, they can get it for you.
Yeah.
And,
Ask Ray Tenley. Tell them we sent you up there, and they'll get you a good deal.
they'll find you the car that you're looking for.
Even
with
for
the
service
options
or
and-
body shop, their collision center.
Yeah, anything that you need done, call Fear. They can do it, and they do a great job as well. This is just a quick story. I saw this. If this woman doesn't epitomize everything we do here on Dipsticks and Deals, I don't know what does. Margaret Dunning, she was a woman born and raised in Michigan. She developed a love for automobiles. She's restored a few herself over the years. She actually was the president of a credit union, started a clothing store that was very successful. She was able to sell it, make some money. She actually took a lot of that money and started fixing up old cars. In fact, her daily driver, and I'm going to try to find a picture of this and put it on our Facebook page, her daily driver, the one that she drives around every day, is a 1930 Packard 740 Roadster that's in near mint condition.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, it is just the neatest car, and to see her driving it now, she has owned this car for 63 years.
Wow.
So how old is Margaret?
amazing.
How old is Margaret? Well, she just had her birthday in June.
102.
102 years old.
Nice.
102 years
And
old.
she's still driving.
She's still driving, and she's driving this 1930 Packard 740 Roadster.
Amen.
That's cool and wrong in so many ways.
It is cool, and there is
Unsafe in so many ways.
Dude, wait till you see this car and see her standing next to it. It's like a tank compared to her.
Well,
I mean, they're
she's
big
safe in
cars.
it.
She's probably short.
She's a little small, but I'm telling you what, this car is so beautiful and well kept. She won't step on the running board to get into it without putting a towel down on the running board. This car's perfect.
Wonder who's going to get that car.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to send her a letter, a little note.
Tell her I love her.
Tell her we boosted it on our show. Yeah, because I'm telling and she's got a couple of really nice cars.
I'll
And,
wash
and
the
as old as
detail.
she is and as short as she is, tell her I am. My stature is about the average man of 1908.
There you go.
Jimmy B, do you have an extra pair of gym shoes? I lost one coming in here this morning.
No, actually, I don't. And he's missing a shoe.
It flew off when I was on the highway, and I thought, would I be just crazy to go get
Wait.
a gym shoe?
You rode your bike here today
Yes,
on the highway?
like every morning.
That's not safe.
Well, you got
They
to.
don't have a bike lane on
Well, they won't let me
75.
drive the car on the highway, so what am I supposed to do?
Did you have a helmet?
Well, no, sir. Nothing fits over this head.
We're going to have to take a break in a second. I wanted to mention real quick the answer to last week's trivia question. What did HMMWV, which is abbreviated Humvee, what's it stand for? It's High Mobility Multi-Purpose Wheeled Vehicle.
Did not know that.
You should have known that being ex-military.
I know.
We're going to get into it when we get back. You're listening to Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. As you wrap up the weekend, we'll have sunshine and a high of 64 this afternoon. It'll be clear and cool overnight with a low of 38. We'll have some patchy frost Monday morning. Otherwise, it'll be a sunny day with a high of 66 to kick off the week. Monday night, it'll be clear and not as cool at a low of 47. Tuesday looks partly sunny and warmer with a high of 75. From the Real Talk 1160 Weather Bug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
Hey folks, Jimmy B here. Did you know that one of the most important structural aspects of your vehicle is the windshield? It accounts for almost 50% of the rollover strength. That's why you must choose the right company for windshield repair and replacement, and that's Mel's Auto Glass. Mel's Auto Glass has certified professionals serving the tri-state for more than 25 years. Don't trust something so important to anyone else. The experts at Mel's Auto Glass for quality, value, and peace of mind. Call 513-563-7771. That's 513-563-7771.
In war, there will always be casualties. Join us and find out how your donation can make a difference in the lives of our wounded warriors and their families at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
This is John Outlaw, and we're looking for some key people who would love to have an opportunity to change their life financially by being part of a company that's changing the way commerce works. There's over 330 million cell phones in the U.S. today, and the average monthly bill is over $70. There's now a plan that offers unlimited voice, texting, and data for $49 a month with no contract. What's great is the service is on one of the top 3 carriers, far surpassing AT&T. So we're looking for people willing to get the word out about this wonderful plan. Think about this for a moment. There's an opportunity for you to create a substantial income over time by getting paid to use your cell phone. There's so much more to this wonderful opportunity we can't cover because of lack of time. So for information, give me a call, John, at 734-480-9000. That's 734-480-9000. Call now. At least get information. We won't try to convince you about anything. We want you to have the details. 734-480-9000.
Hey, this is Rick the Brick, and I gotta tell you about the #1 place for fun in Cincinnati, and it's Dave & Buster's over in Springdale. They have everything from the latest video games, billiards, virtual golf, 2 full bars, and great prizes for kids and for adults. Check out their great specials like the Eat and Play Combo, a delicious entree, and a $10 game card for just $16.99. Monday night is trivia night, and Wednesday, all the games are half price all day. So head on over. For directions and more details, log on to daveandbusters.com. Dave & Buster's, feed your fun already.
The United States is the birthplace of cool. If the world was a high school, America would be making out in the study hall with Sweden, picking on India, and smoking in the UN restroom with France.
Dennis Miller, weeknights at 10 on Real Talk 1160.
Imagine you're reaching for a pen when you slip and, yep, there goes your coffee, right onto your computer. If you're one of the almost 50% of small businesses that don't back up their PCs, you've just lost data, and there's a good chance you'll lose sales. From human error to natural disasters, or even those little oops moments, there's always a risk of your computer system going down, and that could really hurt your business. Take it from Doug McDonald at the Cincinnati Museum Center.
Like every other business, data is critically important. We have over 80,000 records of donors and members who are critical to our livelihood.
That may be enough to make you give up coffee forever, but there's a better way. How does the Museum Center do it?
Cincinnati Bell is a wonderful partner, and with them, I don't worry about these things. That gives me peace of mind.
So don't swear off coffee just yet, because Cincinnati Bell is now offering data backup, part of our Peace of Mind suite. Get 25 gigs for just $25 for 12 months. Now that should help you relax, unless you've had too much coffee. Just call 513-2-BUNDLE or visit myrightsolution.com/backup. Cincinnati Bell, right here for you.
Did you know Fear Buick GMC in Hamilton has been family owned and operated and serving the tri-state since 1932? Isn't that the kind of dealership you want to buy your next car from? And because of that success, Fear Buick GMC announces their upcoming move later this year to their new 26,000 square foot location between Menards and Kohl's near Bridgewater Falls. Come see Ray Tenley, Fear's general manager for the past 25 years, and tell him Dipsticks and Deals sent you. Call 513-863-8111 or visit fearmotors.com. That's FIEHRER Motors.com. America's Morning News. Weekdays 6 to 7 on Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160. Before we went to break, we were giving up the answer to last week's trivia question. Third wheel.
High mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicle, Humvee.
That's right. Good. That's what a Humvee is.
It's freaking awesome. I didn't know it.
I didn't know that either.
Hey, what's this week's trivia question for the gas, cash, or crash contest?
Today's question, or this week's question, will be how many meals a year does a typical person eat in a car?
That's a good question.
Now, is this cops or everybody?
It doesn't count donuts. No, this is the typical. What? Cops eat donuts.
He said donuts, huh?
If I was a cop, I would eat
donut
That
remarks
make you mad?
to cops. Because, yeah, man, it's bagels or something.
Listen, I rode with you, and I don't know that we went to a donut shop, but I know.
Almost got you killed.
Well, yeah, you did almost get me killed twice. But anywhere we would go, which this always bothered me, and since we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. We would go in. I know we went to Subway and we went to a couple of places. You got to eat and drink for free. I didn't.
Yeah, because you won't walk in when there's a bad guy with a gun. I will. So I think they should give me some food.
I walked in where there were bad guys with you. I didn't have a gun. So doesn't that make me more of a badass than you?
I would have gave you more food.
That's good, Jimmy B. That's funny.
Shut up, Kenny. I'll lock you up.
Remember the 300-pound crack guy that we had
Just
to go
don't tase
after in
me.
the projects? Remember that dude? Remember when we knocked on the door and they said, "Oh, he downstairs."
Is that the guy that we ran through the hall?
Yeah, we got locked out on a fire escape.
Yeah, and we were trying to find out. Like it was like something out of Cat in a Hat, man. Every door we opened up was.
Okay, Johnny.
Where are we now?
We got 21 Jump Street on the show today.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was just curious because I don't know. You got to eat for free. You didn't lie and tell them I was undercover or nothing.
Yeah,
I had to pay.
I think that's old school. I don't think they're not allowed to do that anymore.
Well, they do because I see it. Not to that degree where you get a nice dinner,
right?
But I've seen them go in and get their iced tea and stuff, and it's on the house, which is fine. I mean, if you're
That's
in
up to the
serving that
establishment.
community, sure, I think they should do that.
Well, every time I've been in the back of a police car,
There's
they've always
nothing
got their
wrong.
food for free.
Yeah, well, there's no
Eat in front of you while we're driving you to
Go through the
jail,
drive-thru.
taking you to the Sally Port. There you go. Look at this,
Absolutely.
buddy. You got a cheeseburger.
I would ask, but
There's
they just say,
nothing
"Shut up."
wrong with brown nosing a cop. There's not. You get them good with you, and you know what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong. It could work to your favor
Depends
down
on
the
the
road.
cop.
It does depend on the cop. We might talk a little bit more about some things you should and shouldn't say to a cop later.
Sure.
I know a bunch of
If
those.
we know you do.
Them tasers hurt.
Once again, for $25 in gas, $25 in cash, or crash the show and be with us here on air live. How many meals a year does the typical person eat in a car? Which is distracting driving, too, by the way, I must say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I can text and drive better. Not that I do because it's against the law, therefore I do not do it. I can do that better than eat a taco while I'm driving.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It falls out of the ends, and then you worry about getting it on your dress pants, and then you're not looking at the road. And
See, I used to tease my wife about that. That's why I asked about cops, because she used to say, you can't drive sometimes. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? I can drive 100 miles an hour with a Whopper, talking on the radio, chasing a bad guy, and not spill drive.
Yeah. Well, what do you know?
With a white shirt on. You can't beat that.
You can't beat that. Hey, listen, it's about that time for automotive news. Finally, a real muscle car milestone from the United States of America. We're talking about the 2013 Ford Mustang GT 500. Not only is it the most powerful Mustang ever built, it is also the most powerful American car of all time, thanks to the most powerful series production V8 in the world. It's a 662 horsepower, 5.8-liter monster.
That's ginormous.
It's got a supercharger on it to boot. Okay, it has just the supercharger on top of the engine has a cubic inch capacity of 2.3 liters, or a cubic
Where do you
liter
drive this
capacity.
thing?
2.3. This has the same displacement. Just the supercharger has the same displacement of the 88 horsepower 4-cylinder engine that was in the 82 Mustang.
And that's a rear-wheel drive, so I'm just trying to think, that power, how do you even control it? I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for anybody who doesn't really know how to drive a car.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about a car similar to that later that has been subject of some lawsuits because of that. This car, though, with all this horsepower, with this supercharger, this monster of a Mustang gets 26 miles a gallon.
Well, that's a beautiful
Now, that
thing.
makes it available.
awesome.
You can drive it.
Put that in a truck.
You can drive that car and afford to drive it and have fun with it. Shelby manages to deliver 24 miles a gallon, really, but despite having 5.5 times the power, it has 2 fuel pumps. So the small 4-cylinder one got 24 miles a gallon. This one, the hot one, gets 26. 7.5 times more power than that car. Dual fuel pumps. Ford claims that the GT500 also has a top speed of 202 miles an hour.
That's fast.
American muscle, guys. I'm very excited to hear that. Hey, tensions are heating up between U.S. and Chinese officials over automotive part exports. The U.S. filed over the subsidized Chinese parts, and the Chinese filed because of the high U.S. import duties that have been imposed on them. China's having problems with several countries relative to auto parts.
We're having problems with lot of things.
Yeah, they are having a lot.
And aren't they just really making the playing field a little fair on imports, exports by doing this?
Well,
I mean, Chinese gotten away with everything for years.
Here's the big problem. Since the Chinese government started subsidizing these corporations over there with these parts that allows them to ship them to the U.S. at such a low price,
right.
The U.S. has lost half of its auto parts industry jobs since 2001. Half.
I believe it.
That's pathetic. And we were just talking, that's Tommy Boy stuff. Callahan Brakes.
I love that movie.
They're gone. They're gone. They're not in business. And there's a lot of companies like them that are gone. Over half of the jobs we've lost since 2001, since the government of China subsidized those corporations with their auto parts. I don't know. I don't really see the issue. China can keep their cheap rip-off parts, and we can get our jobs back. I don't think you need a World Trade Organization for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, shut them down.
GM is recalling almost 500,000 Malibus, G6s, and Saturn Auras over a shift lock problem. Some of these vehicles can roll out of park, even with the shifter in the park position. Doesn't that sound similar? Haven't you heard that before, that issue where they pop out of park?
Yeah, but I can't remember what vehicle.
Well, let me refresh. This is reminiscent of the recalls introduced by Ford, Chrysler, Hyundai, Subaru, Land Rover, Suzuki, Nissan, Volvo, Toyota, and Mazda.
Who's the designer?
I don't know, but somebody needs to get that fixed because across most major car lines, they've had an issue like this, and it's dangerous. Nobody with the Chevrolets or the GM cars yet there's been no fatalities. But some of these other manufacturers, little kids have been run over, people have been killed.
I was just thinking about that because it happened in Anderson. I don't know if it had to do with the parking thing, but
that happened late last week.
Yeah, I got run over.
Yeah,
I mean, it's okay.
I think, it must have been a stick shift car, and I think they may have left it in neutral.
7-year-old got in it or something.
Released the parking brake.
And the 2-year-old got ran over, but
Right. Done that.
Fine.
That happens. You can do that very easily, too.
Yeah, well, and I told a story when we first started the show months ago about how that happened to my car while I was not in it, and it went down the front yard. Remember that story?
Is that how your dog got 3 legs?
No, that was another story.
Oh.
But I'll tell you about that maybe later. The European auto bubble may be about to burst. Daimler and Porsche are reporting a sales slump in Europe that began in Germany and is now spreading to other countries. With the already unstable global economy at risk, the auto industry could be set for a very difficult 2013.
You want to see my shock face?
That's no surprise.
Well, that's bad news for us.
I mean, Europeans are just as bad as we are as far as they don't have any money.
I'm just going to drive my tractor even if I get my license back.
Well, we all might be on tractors. I told somebody about this years ago. Well, it was after the bailout. I told them this is what was going to happen. They're going to sell off future business. The global economy is not going to be able to sustain it, and we're going to be in this position. In 2013, industry, some sectors of the automotive industry, they're saying it could be one of the toughest years since 2008.
Since there's such technology, everybody work from home and drive golf carts.
Well, they used to ride horses.
I still do.
Because you can drink and drive golf carts on golf courses.
Well, and that's good. The only problem is I work a little too far away from the his owl to ride a golf cart.
And your community needs to grow.
Well, and that's what happened. I mean, that's how the Old West was. Everything was right there, centrally located. You walked or rode a horse.
Well, let me tell you something. You walk a horse downtown Cincinnati, people will get out of your way.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You have everywhere you go is the right way.
I don't think that's legal.
It's not.
I don't think you can bring a horse unless you're a cop downtown.
They have a license for the carriage, people.
Yeah. But they'll chase you down with the cops on horses, and they got faster horses.
Yeah, they have guns, too. Hey, we'll get into that some more when we get back. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. As you wrap up the weekend, we'll have sunshine and a high of 64 this afternoon. It'll be clear and cool overnight with a low of 38. We'll have some patchy frost Monday morning. Otherwise, it'll be a sunny day with a high of 66 to kick off the week. Monday night, it'll be clear and not as cool at a low of 47. Tuesday looks partly sunny and warmer with a high of 75. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
You want speed? You want power? You want style? You want something that turns heads? Then you want Easy Street Speed and Customs in Milford. Easy Street offers everything from minor repairs to full restoration, custom builds, late model mod, performance parts, and an on-site dyno for real performance tuning. Hot rods and cool rides at Easy Street Speed and Custom, 701 Chamber Drive in Milford, 513-831-7550. That's 513-831-7550.
Savage. The only cure for extreme liberalism is shock therapy, massive doses of psychotropics, and hopefully years of re-education.
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160.
Hi, I'm Jeff Pecora, one of the voices of the Cincinnati Reds, and I'm here with Colleen Hawes, owner of the premier casual upscale restaurant, Grandview Tavern and Grill.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a place where business meets casual in a social setting. Come enjoy our New York strips, bacon-wrapped shrimp and grits, or specials like pan-seared sea bass, and don't skip dessert. I promise they are worth the calories.
My wife can't get enough of your handmade specialty pizzas, and I love Train beers.
Nothing's better than watching our Reds win on one of our 16 flat-screen TVs.
I found the Grandview Tavern and Grill to be the best place for lunch meetings with incredible food and impeccable service.
I'm so excited to be out on the patio again. We pack them in out there. Whether you're here to network for business, have an intimate dinner for two, or dance the night away to live music under the stars, this place is for everyone.
Yeah, since coming to the Grandview Tavern, we feel more comfortable than any of the other restaurants. And by the way, Colleen, your outdoor patio rocks.
Jeff, you're too much. Just Google Grandview Tavern and Grill for the latest happenings and list of music.
Savage. I want to talk about inbreeding. Inbreeding produces defective human beings. And I was starting to say to myself, what are the symptoms of inbreeding? At the top of the list, the facile belief that all of the world's dictators are really benevolent. That's something you would see in Hollywood as a result of inbreeding. The thought occurred to me that the only way to save America would be to force liberals to breed with conservatives. Now, hold on. I know this is a burden on conservatives, but you got to stand up for America.
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160. Dennis Miller? We've got an app for that.
I'm the guy who can't seem to figure out how to turn his radio down.
Download TuneIn Radio for your Android, iPhone, or BlackBerry and listen to Real Talk 1160 anytime, anywhere.
At Social Security, we honor our nation's veterans not only on Veterans Day, but every day of the year. In fact, military service members get expedited processing of their disability applications, regardless of where the injury or disability occurred. In some situations, family members may be able to receive benefits too, including dependent children and spouses. If you or someone you know became disabled while on active duty in the military, you can find out more about what Social Security can do for you by visiting our website dedicated to our wounded warriors, www.socialsecurity.gov/woundedwarriors. That address again is www.socialsecurity.gov/woundedwarriors. On Veterans Day and every day, we salute America's veterans.
Summer sports are being played all over the city. For all those sprains, breaks, and treatment, there's only one orthopedic and sports medicine team in town. That's Wellington. Jeff Pecoro here, and I know when my team suffers a setback, we head to Wellington to take advantage of their excellent doctor care and top-notch therapy, even if it's in the evening after a practice or a game. That's right, both the Anderson and Western Ridge Wellington offices offer after-hours care Monday through Friday till 9 o'clock and Saturdays till 1 p.m. with no appointment necessary. For all things Wellington, log on to WellingtonOrtho.com. Get well, get Wellington.
Weather every 15 minutes throughout your day. Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160. Before we went to break, we were talking about a couple of things. We were going through the news, but we were talking about that big Mustang, that big high horsepower Mustang, the 2013 GT500, which is really encouraging for me because I've done reports and talked about the death of the American car culture, and that's something that can bring it back for sure, and it gets 26 miles a gallon. Third Wheel mentioned something about why don't they put that kind of engine with that power in a truck so that they can get that kind of mileage. The only issue there is that the truck has got the full frame under it. It's a lot heavier. It doesn't utilize the titanium and aluminum and carbon fiber that the Mustang does, so you wouldn't realize that kind of mileage. We've gotten a little bit behind. We need to jump into automotive history. Third Wheel What happened way back when this time of year?
Well, way back when, September 15th, 1909. I'm going to sneeze.
Go ahead.
Go right ahead.
Henry Ford sues George Selden. Who is George Selden?
Who is George Selden?
Who is George Selden? He is the guy that patented the road engine, which was essentially an automobile patent. No car maker wanted to risk being sued for infringements, so every car made from 1895 to 1909 had a brass plaque on it that read, manufactured under
the Selden patent.
The Selden patent.
That's right.
After appeals, Henry Ford won the lawsuit, and the plaques were no longer needed.
Isn't that something?
So they just basically stuck the plaque.
They stuck the plaque on there so that he could not, so they weren't infringing on the patent. So they were legal by putting that on there. But this Selden fella, who held the original patent really for an automobile, never built one. And that's how the court ruled that because he never produced the product.
How could you put a patent on it?
You can't patent it if you're not going to manufacture, or at least for a particular amount of time. So please continue.
That makes sense. September 17th, 1964, James Bond's Aston Martin debuts. You know what movie?
James Bond.
My titanium finger. What was it called?
The Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
Yeah, that debuts at the Odeon Leicester Square Theater, and the world gets its first glimpse of the James Bond's Aston Martin DB5.
The DB5. That's a bad car. I'd love to have a DB5. Please continue.
I wonder what DB stands for.
Dang, boy. Go ahead.
September 18th, 2006, modern history. Rover name sold.
What?
The Rover name was sold.
The Rover name was sold.
Yes. You didn't know that, did you? Because
No,
this
I
is
didn't.
my history I put in there.
I know.
To gain rights to the Rover name, most importantly for the use of the Range Rover and Land Rover lines.
Yep.
Ford pays BMW €6 million in euros.
That's a lot of euros.
That's a lot of euros.
Something interesting about them owning Rover.
Is this a long story?
No.
All right.
They didn't sell any Land Rovers while they owned it.
I like that
They didn't
word.
produce Rover vehicles when Ford owned Rover.
Rover.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Please continue.
September 20th, 1945. Wartime production halts and is officially over this day when the final auto manufacturer resumes automobile production.
Mm-hmm.
Packard produced its last Rolls-Royce Merlin aircraft engine on this day in 1945. Now, I read this a few times, and I know you wrote this.
Here we go.
But listen to this again.
Yes.
War production halts, and it is officially over this day when the final auto manufacturer resumes automobile production.
Yes. They started making cars again.
Wartime production halts, and is officially over this day. When?
I'm confused.
See, and just so everyone understands what's happening here. Last week, because I write the history, I research and write the history for the Third Wheel, I inputted some things in there that were non-history related and actually would have made him look like an idiot had he read it. So this week, he's trying to be involved, and he's coming up with thoughtful insight into my history. He's trying to trump Jimmy B. Please continue.
This is not working. September 20th, 1979, Lee Iacocca became chairman of the failing Chrysler Corporation, and for the first several crisis years, he took only $1.
Keep reading.
No, I can't. You ever hear of a comma? $1 per year salary in order to set an example of cutting back and working harder to shake the company. His hard-nosed, no-nonsense approach worked like a charm. And he brought the Chrysler back from the brink of bankruptcy to a strong competitor in 1983. You read the rest. I'm sweating my butt off.
Third Wheel is it is warming. Oh, Third Wheel.
Screwed up my history forever.
I did not screw up the history.
Don't talk to me ever again.
If you would read it beforehand, it would read so much smoother, I'm telling you. All right. Where are you going? You can't leave the studio.
He just left the studio, didn't he?
All right, listen, we got to move forward here because we are getting behind a little bit, having a lot of fun this morning. I hope you guys are too. We're going to talk real quick about automotive taglines, and you need to quit looking at this because I'm going to have you guys right here, Third Wheel, and what's your name, Kenny Coltrane. You guys, I want to see if you can answer some of these now. To give you for instance, car manufacturers in their advertising, marketing, commercials, etc., they always have their little tagline. I left some of the real easy ones out because they were just that too easy. But as a for instance, the ultimate driving machine. Whose tagline was that?
I don't have a TV.
Okay, so third wheel.
The ultimate driving machine.
I can guess.
BMW.
BMW.
The ultimate driving machine.
That's
Here's
what I
another
said.
one. Inspiration comes standard. Anyone?
Chrysler.
Very good.
Is it?
He can read. Yes, it is. It's Chrysler.
Nice.
I just threw that up
Inspiration
in the
comes
air.
standard was a tagline from Chrysler. How about breakthrough?
I don't know.
Cadillac.
I was going to say that.
Now this one somebody should be able to get. I love what you do for me.
Subaru.
No.
It was. I don't know.
It was a
Little Volkswagen.
foreign car manufacturer, but I love what you do for me was Toyota.
Oh, okay.
Remember that tagline?
No.
Here's one. How about think small?
Fiat.
No.
Kia.
No. Now you're thinking small, but that's not what I meant.
GM.
Volkswagen.
Oh.
I'm gonna throw one out that's easy.
Okay.
Drivers wanted.
Oh, I seen that one.
Volkswagen.
That's correct. Thank you very much. How about never follow? Never follow.
Audi.
Very good, third wheel.
I'm not just guessing.
Somebody's cheating there.
No, I'm
You
guessing.
know
I'm
that.
going you shut up, Kenny.
The best kept automotive secret in America. That was a tagline from a car manufacturer.
Ford. GM.
GM's financial.
Alfa Romeo.
The best kept automotive secret. Can you spell Alfa Romeo?
No, I can't believe I said it either.
Can you spell the name of this manufacturer? The best kept automotive secret
Mitsubishi.
in America, Peugeot.
Oh, Peugeot.
How about this one?
Poegat.
This is
Or
pretty,
ET.
this is pretty. Shut up. This is pretty strong for a tagline.
Go ahead.
Ask the man who owns one.
That's just creepy.
Ford.
No.
Kia.
Packard.
Hyundai.
Oh, you're going way back before.
Well, these are from all
Yeah, these are like-
generations.
That's a radio commercial.
Not
TV.
your father's blank.
Oh.
That's a give me. Come on. Not your father. It's not your father's.
Wife. What?
Oldsmobile.
Oldsmobile.
It's not your father's Oldsmobile.
It's no one's anymore.
How about this one? Sheer driving pleasure.
Ferrari.
Subaru.
Porsche.
No.
Renault.
John Deere.
Renault.
BMW again.
That's not right.
Sheer driving pleasure. Or the way they said it on the commercial was sheer driving
They talk a lot. Like,
pleasure.
Yeah, it's like all sexy about cars.
Here's one. Enjoy the ride.
Jeep.
No.
Volkswagen 68 Beetle.
Nissan was enjoy the ride.
Well.
What other one that I don't have listed do they have as a tagline for their trucks?
I don't know any of this.
Come on.
Built Ford Tough.
Dogs love trucks. Remember that one?
No.
Dogs love trucks.
Apparently this didn't work for me buying a car.
Would you do that again?
This is something you guys should probably do. Whose tagline was wake up and drive?
Renault.
Mitsubishi.
Subaru.
You are a poor guesser.
Never paid attention.
If you don't get this one, we're going to have a meeting about your tenure. The relentless pursuit of perfection.
Renault.
Lexus.
Lexus. Very good. Third wheel.
Apparently I'm a high-end guy.
Blank has a better idea. Who has a better idea? Blank has a better idea. That
Pontiac. And it didn't work.
Well, you're right, but no, that was Ford.
Cadillac.
Passion for the road. Who was
Mercedes.
that? No, Mazda. Here's a good one. Don't dream it, drive it.
AMC Concorde.
That was Jaguar,
Ooh, Jaguar.
I like a Jaguar.
or as they say, Jaguar.
Jaguar.
A Jaguar.
Built for the road ahead. That's easy.
Ford.
Ford, that's right. Hey, I got a couple of more to get to, and then we're going to talk about drag racing.
Yee-hoo.
We're going to talk about things not to say to cops and a bunch of other hem-haul stuff. So come back. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. As you wrap up the weekend, we'll have sunshine and a high of 64 this afternoon. It'll be clear and cool overnight with a low of 38. We'll have some patchy frost Monday morning. Otherwise, it'll be a sunny day with a high of 66 to kick off the week. Monday night, it'll be clear and not as cool, a low of 47. Tuesday looks partly sunny and warmer with a high of 75. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Rod Tanner.
I grew up in a normal home in a normal town. All of a sudden, everything got crazy. I didn't talk to anybody about the way I was feeling. I was scared and I was alone. I started drinking. I just didn't want to deal with what was happening in my life. I knew about AA, but thought I was too young. I found out I was wrong. If you have a problem with your drinking, why don't you give AA a call? Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Listen to what's new.
It's amazing that the Secret Service would do something so dumb. Now, let me be fair. You can't blame Obama for this. And if anybody does, they're just being stupid.
The Mike Huckabee Show, weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Talk 1160.
Hey, it's the Wild Man for Cincinnati's oldest bar, Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington. Whether it's dining in the restaurant or relaxing in Willie's humongous bar, anyone who loves sports can vouch for Willie's in Covington. Come out on Saturdays for college football with ESPN Game Day and $12 buckets of beer. Sundays, it's the NFL Sunday Ticket and $7.50 personal pitchers. And for Monday Night Football, grab $2.50 big drafts and Bengals commemorative cups. The Sports on Willie's huge flat screens throughout the restaurant and the bar. You'll never miss a play. Before the Bengals game, take the Willie's shuttle to the stadium for $3, then back to Willie's and celebrate a Bengals win. Willie's Covington has unbelievable happy hour prices Monday through Friday from 1 to 7. Take it from the Wild Man, you're going to love Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington. Just over the bridge on 75 South, take the first exit, turn right, then left into Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington, or visit online, williescovington.com.
If you drive a car, you must have this number, 1-800-828-0159. The number to STI Towing, the Tri-State's towing pros. STI handles most motor clubs, including AAA, and they offer prompt, courteous, and professional service all day and all night. Mention Real Talk 1160 and the first 5 miles are free. That's 1-800-828-0159. 1-800-828-0159 for STI Towing.
Real Talk 1160 is on Facebook. It's okay to love us. Too bad Facebook only has a like button. Let us know what you think. Comment, unload, let loose, or praise away. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Real Talk 1160. Are you ready for a new car?
I saved $6,000 by coming to Columbia Hyundai.
Here at Columbia Hyundai, because of high trade values, it's possible to trade in your used car, keep your current payment, or even lower it for a comparable new Hyundai.
John, is that even possible nowadays?
Right now, get a new 2013 Hyundai Accent for $149 a month, or a new 2013 Elantra for $169 a month, or a new 2013 Sonata for just $179 a month. This is a 36-month lease. Other than tax and title, only $19.99 due at signing. All these cars get over 40 miles per gallon on the highway.
I saved a couple thousand by coming to Columbia Hyundai.
All new Hyundais come with America's Best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and the Hyundai Assurance.
Oh, that's a better warranty than a Jaguar.
And we can get you finance approval in 30 minutes or less, even if you have blemished credit.
Only at Columbia Hyundai on Montgomery Road at I-275. Call 489-2000.
Finance approval online. And see our video at ColumbiaHyundai.com.
Between the economy and the price of gas, how about a way to save some money for a change? Lower your insurance premium with help from Huseman Schmidt Insurance. They understand more than most because they've been local, family-owned, and part of your community since 1976. Huseman Schmidt's expertise and common sense approach have helped their clients protect their assets and save money. For all your business and personal insurance needs, call Huseman Schmidt at 513-521-8590 and ask for Rob or AJ, or visit HusemanSchmidt.com. Huseman Schmidt cares. Real people, real situations. Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160. Before we went to break, we were talking about automotive taglines, and I'm disappointed that Third Wheel and Kenny Coltrane, well, not so much Kenny Coltrane because he doesn't have television, but Third Wheel didn't really know any of these, and actually Coltrane came through on a couple of them that he knew.
That's a lucky guess.
And through the break, one of the easiest ones I thought, and I left it out, was Like a Rock, which Coltrane knew, which is what?
Chevy trucks.
Chevy trucks. I thought was pretty easy. There's a couple of other ones that you may not be as familiar with because they don't do a lot of marketing in the United States. But here's one. Everything else is poop. Who was that?
Renault.
Lamborghini.
I'm going to keep saying Renault.
Here's another one you probably haven't heard.
Renault.
I am rich. I am sexy. Now get in.
Jaguar.
Mercedes.
Ferrari. Here's one. If you have to ask how much, we will lie
Rolls
and
Royce.
make you think you can get one, then laugh at you as your ugly family. Now get out.
Rolls Royce.
That was Aston. That was
Aston Martin?
You never saw that commercial?
You made that up.
No, that's where the guy. Listen, you'll
No way.
remember the guy comes on and they show the car, and you see this family going into a dealership to buy this Aston Martin, and then over top of the images, you hear that voice come on. He says, "If you have to ask how much, we will lie and make you think you can get one, then laugh at you and your ugly family. Now get out."
Was it in a French commercial?
Aston Martin.
Was it a French commercial
Yes.
or a Dos Equis commercial? What are you supposed to be over there, man?
Here's one you might not have seen
It's
yet.
Italiano, ain't it?
This is a new tagline that you should be seeing soon, and it is, "If you like the movie Total Recall, then you're going to love our cars. General Motors."
Don't the cars in Total Recall fly?
Oh, the new Total Recall.
It's a play on recalls.
Oh.
Oh, my God. Well, how did I end up with you guys in this situation?
I got it now.
We have to move forward. Third wheel, I hope you did your homework on this. We're going to take a look at fuel prices.
Hold on.
Oh, my gosh.
Here we go.
Triple A reports the national.
We suck again.
I'm going to jump through that glass. The AAA reports the national average at $3.82 for unleaded.
Which makes us lucky around here because gas isn't that high.
I feel good about gas today.
It's $3.79, $3.77, $3.75 I've seen.
Yeah, it's been as low as $3.46 around here.
What? Where?
I forgot, but it's been as low as $3.46 this week.
This week, I think you're not without like Kroger points or something.
All right, Jimmy B, shut your face.
Okay.
Diesel, $4.11.
Diesel.
That's national average. Around here, it has been as low as $3.87.
That's pretty good for
diesel fuel.
I hate to say that it's good for diesel.
Now, these could be those shops where you get 10 cents off or something like that.
They
Like
have to be.
Kroger or Costco.
Can I make some grilled cheese in the microwave?
No, we had to unplug the microwave.
And it's high around, and this is my neighborhood, again, $3.91.
Well, you know what?
Unleaded, and $4.06 for diesel.
As long as you guys want to drive around in those Jaguars, then you're going to have to pay for it.
Or Beamers, like a rock, right? Was that their tagline?
Yeah, sure.
Those are
whatever.
nice cars.
Go ahead, please continue.
I'm done.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, STI Towing, take your smartphone out, create a contact for STI Towing, 859-525-8697 or 485-1234. Put them in your smartphone device or your regular cell phone. Doesn't have to be a smartphone. You know what I'm saying? You'll have them a click away if you have a flat tire, you run out of gas, your car breaks down. You want prompt professional service. You want STI Towing. So remember those folks.
Do they still have that thing about the tow, first tow?
They still are, and with gas as high as it is, you can't beat this kind of deal.
What is it?
It's mentioning Dipsticks and Deals or Real Talk 1160, and your first 5 miles are free.
Well, how
That's
about
awesome.
that?
That is, especially when you only got to go 5 miles.
Yeah,
You pay
absolutely.
the pickup charge, and then you don't pay any more. So you get a really, really good deal just by calling STI. So I prompt you to put those two numbers as contacts in your phone.
That's right. If you're looking to save some money and actually protect your assets, call Huseman Schmidt Insurance.
Yes.
Call them at 521-8590. That's 513-521-8590. And ask for me, the third wheel.
The third wheel.
I'll hook you up.
Oh, good.
Even if you have your classic car. There are other companies now getting into classic car
Do you
insurance
insure
business.
bicycles?
I can insure you, Kenny.
Well, good, because I think I'm going to need it after that wreck I had this morning. That's where I lost my shoe.
Can't insure the shoes, though. Moving on to the car of the week this week, we're going back to one of the best years, 1966. The Ford Thunderbird. A 428 cubic inch, 345 horsepower, 3-speed automatic. Now, this was the last hot rod T-Bird they ever made.
Now, this body style did not look like the 50s body style.
No.
This looked like that one where the headlight would flip up.
No.
Sort of.
No.
Or is that the 70s?
Yes.
All right.
Let me continue. Okay, this was the last of the hot rod T-Birds and the last of the convertible option until the relaunch in 2002, which is what looked like the old 50s styles, kind of. Every Thunderbird after 1966 was ugly.
And large.
No, they actually got smaller. This was the biggest Thunderbird. The 66 was the longest, 113-inch wheelbase.
I love those cars.
It was a rocket, big lead sled looking.
Had
Very
little-
cool T-Bird.
Little round windows in the back.
No, it did
50s.
not. That was the 50s. That was the
50s.
55, 56, 57.
I remember looking out of them when I was
You
a little
remember the
kid.
T-Bird my mother had in the 80s.
Yeah.
The red one.
The one with the flip-up headlights.
Yeah, it was a red one, remember?
Yeah, and that was an ugly T-Bird.
It was.
It wasn't really a Thunderbird. It had a Thunderbird badge on it, but relative to the Thunderbird legacy, anything after 66 was a turd.
Other than you didn't think this 2002 relaunch was okay.
Oh, that was awful.
You know, I think for a retro car, late model retro, because it has all the modern stuff in it and the good suspension.
My sister had one of those.
Yeah, they're cool.
It was cool, except they made it way too small. It looked like a little go-kart. Like
Well,
a little.
I mean,
That's what the 50s was.
The original 50s
Was
T-Bird
that small?
was a small. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, it
it
was?
was a small car.
It was made to compete against a Corvette.
That's right, and which never could.
No.
But this was the last of the hot rods, being the big 428 option with the big horsepower. I don't think it pulled real good quarter times because it was a big car. We saw a couple out at Easy Street. They had them out there, the late 60s model. But really, 67 was the squared off. They were all two doors up until 67, and they actually offered a four-door version of a Thunderbird.
That had to be ugly.
Well, it's the one that had the rear suicide doors on it.
That's cool.
That's cool, but it was an ugly car. After that,
I'm
it got
undecided.
really ridiculous. Dipstick of the week this week. We're going up to New England, to Bear, Delaware. Donald Smith, 30 years old, from Bear, Delaware. Now, Donald had his 99 Chevrolet Silverado at the repair shop, and he had them doing some much-needed repairs. The problem was Donald was in much need of some money, and he couldn't pick his truck up when it was finished. After the truck sat for about a month, the shop declined to take anything other than full payment. I understand that completely. Donald decided to do what any dipstick would do, and he stole his truck off the shop's lot. That's a dipstick.
How'd he do it?
That's what makes him dipstick of the week, is how he did it. Okay, we're not done yet here. See, Donald, he didn't have a key to the truck because the shop had it, but he did have the key to a front loader. Yeah,
A front loader.
Donnie Boy picked up his truck with a front loader.
Like a bulldozer.
Yes, sir. And headed down Main Street, and after a 35-minute chase by the police,
And a bulldozer?
Donald was arrested for multiple infractions. The bright side, I guess, Donald won't be needing that truck for a while, so he'll have some time to save up some money.
It would be hard to stop a bulldozer going down the road. wouldn't
Well,
watch your face.
Yeah, it wasn't a bulldozer; it was a front loader, so it was a rubber-tired vehicle.
Yeah,
but still very large, capable of a little bit of speed, and especially with a '99 Silverado on the front of it, something the cops probably weren't going to try to do the pit maneuver on.
No. Plus, he still had the car probably 10 feet in the air.
Exactly. What a dipstick. Hey, listen, when we come back, we got a lot more car stuff to get into, so don't go anywhere. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk, 1160.
Victor Ray, this is Scorpion 23 traveling west on MSR. One Victor hit by IED at grid. Mike Bravo, 310-737, taking small arms fire. Request QRF and medevac.
In war, there will always be casualties. And for our wounded warriors, coming home can sometimes be a battle in itself. Join us and send your message of support to our wounded warriors at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
Real Talk 1160.
WQRT Florence, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's home for Dean Muccio, Laura Ingram, Michael Savage, Mike Huckabee, and Real Sports with Wild Man Walker.
Crank it up to 11.
From America's Radio News, I'm Claire Beverly. Libya's president has ordered the disbandment of illegitimate militias, a move designed to assert state authority amid violence by armed groups, including an assault on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi on September 11th that killed U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens. President Mohammed El Magharif says a joint operations room in Benghazi will coordinate between the various authorized militia brigades and the army. In the absence of strong security forces, the government has been relying on some militias to help keep order. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department is angry with CNN for reporting on the contents of the personal journal of Ambassador Stevens. The news channel posted a story online yesterday that it found the journal belonging to Stevens 4 days after he died in the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi. A State Department spokesman says CNN broke a pledge to the late ambassador's family that it wouldn't report on the diary and called CNN's actions indefensible. A spokesman for CNN says the State Department is attacking the messenger over the release of items in the journal that they call worthy of full reporting. Mass at a Catholic church in northern Nigeria has been shattered today by a suicide car bomber in a blast that's killed at least one person and wounded 46. The city of Bauchi has seen a number of bombings and shootings blamed on an Islamist sect known as Boko Haram. The blast appeared to hit a parking lot alongside the St. John's Catholic Church. The deputy police commissioner says the bomber was stopped at the church's gate, where he detonated the explosives packed inside his car. Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney is heading to Battleground, Colorado today. It's the first stop in what his advisors call an intense battleground state schedule, designed to counter Republican criticism that his campaign is moving in the wrong direction. Your first stop for breaking news. This is America's Radio News.
I see gold prices are bouncing around a bit. I guess riding the gold bull this year will take a little more guts for many investors. But not me. I buy gold on price dips and then hope and pray it dips further. Why? Because long ago I learned from Craig Smith and Swiss America that the portion of my portfolio I hold in gold is my wealth insurance against a complete currency or financial collapse. Look, no one likes to buy insurance, but would you drive your car without it? No, because it protects your investment. The same goes for my gold wealth insurance. I hope and pray I never get in a car accident or need my gold. But if and when I do, I cherish the wise advice from Swiss America to protect my hard-earned money with hard-owned money. Call Swiss America now, 800-289-2646, 800-BUY-COIN. Get their 2012 Wealth Insurance Kit, 800-289-2646, 800-BUY-COIN. Don't worry about market volatility. Get some wealth insurance, then relax.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. For this afternoon, sunny, high near 64. Tonight, mostly clear, low 38. Monday, it'll be mostly sunny, high near 69. Patchy frost before 9 a.m. Partly cloudy Monday night, low 48. On Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high 75, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
This is Real Sports with Wild Man Walker.
Everybody has a cell phone that's got a camera on it, and they all take your picture. They do it to me, and all I do is do the stupid pre- and post-game show.
Real Sports, weekdays at 5 on Real Talk 1160.
Whether you want a little bit of this or a little bit of that, number one Kings Kia has it all.
With the best selection in town, get a 2012 Kia Soul for as little as $14,900.
Sock Monkey included.
Let's go one better. Choose from the all-new 40 MPG 2012 Kia Rio, Forte or Soul for as little as $14,900.
Wrap and hamster not included, but free oil changes are. And with the best in the biz, 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, these deals are hard to beat.
Kings Kia.
Visit us online at kingskia.com or in the Kings Auto Mall.
You're going to look great behind the wheel of your new Kia, I guarantee.
Hey, it's the Wild Man from Real Sports 1160 here with my friend Rob Bullock from Bullock Roofing.
Hey, Wild Man.
Rob, I hear you guys are the roofing experts.
That's right, Wild Man. If it has to do with the roof, we can handle it. Roof contracting and replacement, shingles, gutters, chimney repair, skylights. We even offer replacement windows.
Now, what sets Bullock Roofing apart from the other guys?
Wild Man, we are the roofing experts. We do it once, we do it right, and our pride shows in our work. Our customers mean the world to us, and their satisfaction speaks volumes. We're based on old-fashioned value and fair prices.
And word of mouth today is everything.
That's right. Our popularity has grown thanks to our customers telling their family and friends about our quality work.
Take it from Rob Bullock with Bullock Roofing. You need help with your roof, gutters, chimney, even replacement windows. Get the treatment you deserve from the experts at Bullock Roofing.
We service the entire greater Cincinnati area. Find us on the web at bullockroofing.com. That's bullockroofing.com. Call us for a free estimate today at 513-771-2096.
Jerry Doyle.
But what did CNN really want? They wanted a tragedy, but they're calling it a miracle. The very same network that seems to spend most of its time denouncing religion is quick to call something a miracle.
The Jerry Doyle Show. Weeknights at 7 on Real Talk 1160.
Hey folks, Jimmy B here. Did you know that one of the most important structural aspects of your vehicle is the windshield? It accounts for almost 50% of the rollover strength. That's why you must choose the right company for windshield repair and replacement, and that's Mel's Auto Glass. Mel's Auto Glass has certified professionals serving the tri-state for more than 25 years. Don't trust something so important to anyone else. The experts at Mel's Auto Glass for quality, value, and peace of mind. Call 513-563-7771. That's 513-563-7771.
Laura Ingram, weekdays 9 to noon, Real Talk 1160. Welcome to Dipsticks and Deals with Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160. Everything you need to know about cars, buying, financing, trading, maintenance, repairs, auto body, and more. Join the program by calling 513-579-1160. Now, here are your hosts, Jimmy B and the Third Wheel on Real Talk 1160.
Welcome back to the second hour, shifting into third gear on Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160. Yeah, we were out in the Talents Lounge having some
the green room.
We were in a green room, and we didn't realize that the show was about to start, so we had to run in here. We left off talking about Donald Smith, the dipstick from Delaware, who stole his vehicle with a front loader. I noticed Kenny Coltrane was really intrigued with that story.
Yes, that's amazing.
I think it's something that you know how to drive a front loader, don't you?
Absolutely. Well, sure.
That's what I thought.
Did he bring the front loader to the car lot?
Yes, he did.
So he went home
and got the front loader,
and the cops didn't stop him before he got to the.
Good point. Yeah, I don't know.
They live like where Jimmy B does.
Yeah, exactly. Out in the sticks. Hey, listen. You know it's tailgate time of the year, and we got some races that you go to and you tailgate. Even if you go to the local drag strip, people tailgate, and we've got a tailgate recipe, and I'm just hoping it doesn't have anything to do with s'mores.
You know, like a s'mores burger?
Like last week's was so hideous, we cut it off. But go ahead. What do you got this week for a tailgate recipe?
Wisconsin bratwurst.
That sounds good.
Does that sound good?
I like it. They make it up.
Please
well,
continue.
The ingredients are 2 pounds of fresh bratwurst sausages, 2 onions thinly sliced, 1 cup of butter, 6 cans or bottles of beer.
All right.
Okay.
Got that?
I'm with you.
1.5 teaspoons of ground black pepper and 10 hoagie rolls. What you're going to do is you're going to prick the bratwurst with a fork to prevent them from exploding when they cook. Place in a large stock pot with onions and butter and beer. So basically take the sausage, the butter, beer, onions. Place pot over the medium heat. Simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Preheat the grill to medium-high heat. Lightly oil grate.
You know what?
I don't know what that means.
Basically, the top of the grill, you lightly oil it. Got that?
I'm going to say something.
You shut up. Cook bratwurst on preheated grill for 10 to 15 minutes.
You've never done this, have you?
This?
Yes.
No, man.
Okay.
I'll tell you how I did it in a second. Occasionally brown evenly, serve hot on the grill, onions. Okay, what I do is I take my bratwurst and I cut them in half.
Right.
But then I'll saute the onions and the green peppers or peppers, whatever else you want to put in there, and I saute those in butter, a lot of butter and beer.
Okay.
Then what I do is I brown the hoagie. So what I can do is you can either butter the hoagie bread or you can spray it with, say, Pam butter, and then you put it on the grill on both sides, and you get it nice and crispy on the outside, nice and fluffy on the inside. Then you take the split sausage bratwurst and you stick it on the bun, put all the onions and all that other stuff in there, and put pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese, pickles, and eat the heck out of it.
Wow.
Or you can just throw all that stuff away and just
drink
the beer.
That sounds really good. And that sounds really good with a beer. I mean, I'm serious. That sounds awesome.
I can't cook with beer because I don't ever have any beer to put in the I drink it before it's done.
And you know, there's no way to go through life. That is something with one of those portable grills you can do right there at the tailgate of your truck.
Right. And make sure you get like a good big sausage too, because you're going to cut it in half. It's got to fit on a hoagie bun.
Dude, this recipe had it had everything: sausage, butter, and biscuit, all in the same recipe.
And beer.
And beer.
Well, see, the beer helps the heart.
What?
It does.
The other stuff kills the heart.
So it's a nice balance. So
It
you,
is.
You net zero.
So
and
you're zero. So
You're
you're
good
healthy.
to go.
Yeah,
Are you saying that's good for me?
Yeah.
Don't-
A point.
don't tell him
Not your
that.
liver, your heart.
Don't tell him that. That's not a good idea. Hey, we're going to move forward here, and we wanted to talk about rides at random. And basically, we just came up with a list of some cars we'd either like to own or cars that we have owned. Talk a little bit about them. Anybody who wants to go first? This is totally random, so just interject.
I'll go first, but I just want to say I don't know anything mechanically about cars, so I had to
He's going to say big words that he has no idea what they mean.
I'm gonna have say things, and Jimmy B is going to have to interject here. But my first car was a 1969 Pontiac Le Mans, a.k.a. Jimmy B, if you remember what we called this car.
The Cracker? I don't know what.
The Bondomobile.
Oh, the Bondomobile.
Remember,
that's right.
we would crash it and then just go back and throw some Bondo
Throw some Bondo on it.
Or duct tape.
Little spray
Tape.
paint.
Yeah.
Back out for the weekend.
That's it. The Now I didn't know this, but it was the Tempest, the Pontiac Tempest Le Mans.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for my whole life, I thought it was Le Mans.
My cousin Vinny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So through the 1962 to 1981s is when this was offered for that rounded shape style on the back end.
Yeah, because before that they were more
square.
The square, long,
Right.
rectangular.
Then the Le Mans was replaced and downsized by the Pontiac Bonneville in 1982 to 1987.
I don't remember the Le Mans.
Very
Now,
good.
I did not know this, though. For the 1988 model year, the badge-engineered Daewoo Le Mans was sold briefly until 1993.
Yeah, they actually had a car called the Le Mans.
Yeah, I did not know that. Did they have to buy the right, I guess? Or?
Well, I don't know, because it's a race, too. That's where it originally came from. The Le Mans.
Oh, okay.
Is a
Well, yeah, because of the bike
style
race.
of race.
All right, well, the engine
car race.
that I had.
There may be a bike race that's a Le Mans.
No, Le
but
Mans.
I'm
It was
not
the
talking
not the Le
about-
Mans. It was the.
Look, I know where you're going to try to go with
I
that.
am not talking about
was
no
the-
tight pant,
what's the
helmet wearing Le Mans.
There's nothing wrong with wearing those helmets. Are aerodynamic.
They look what you call
Man,
an acorn.
Kenny, you cannot wear spandex and a helmet, so I don't even want to hear that.
Well, I'm going to next week for sure. Now,
Boy, that'd be rough. Please continue.
The engine I had in there was a 350.
Yeah.
5.7 liter V8.
Right.
Now that was cool.
It was cool.
Now here's where I
Golf
don't understand
clap.
what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Bore, 3.9
Uh-huh.
inch, 99 mm.
99 millimeter.
Really?
Yeah, which back
Had-
then they
had
didn't measure
guns.
them. They measured them in inches, but the bore
The
is the size of the cylinder.
Okay, so the stroke was 3.8.
Yeah.
95 mm.
That's the length of the connecting rod.
And the rear wheel drive, and the weight was 3,300 pounds.
Yeah, which really isn't a bad weight for a car with that motor. It ran good.
I do remember, and again, I don't know anything about car engines, but there was a lot of room in there.
Yeah, it was a big car. It was a big car. Hey, listen, I'm going to throw one out here before we go to break. We were talking about this before the show started. This is the absolute epitome of an automobile, I think, and I'm going to tell you why. We're looking at the new, it's a 2012 Nissan GTR Spec V. This car was the Skyline GTR, but now they've dropped the Skyline, did a little bit of different body modifications. It's called a GTR Spec V. It's got a VR38 DETT engine, which is a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6. Pushes 545 horsepower. 6-speed automatic transmission. Motor Trend actually trapped this car at 195 miles
That's faster
an
than
hour.
most V8s.
That's fast.
Yes. The creators of the game Gran Turismo for Xbox and PlayStation,
Right.
that's who they contracted to design the dash cluster of this car. How cool is that?
That is very cool.
So I would say that the game looks exactly like the car, being that they are the ones that designed it. This car actually has a launch mode feature that produces an unimaginable 0 to 60 time of 3.1 seconds.
A launch mode, is that something like on that Fast and Furious where they flipped a button of the propane or whatever the heck they got in there and it...
Did you say propane?
He said propane.
Hydro,
He
whatever.
said propane.
Okay. Well, that was nitrous oxide, NO2.
Oh my.
Dude, you running propane, man?
Yeah, you cut the top of the thing off, man, it shoots off.
That's a cartoon.
We're going to go to break, and I'm going to explain to Third Wheel what would happen if you injected propane into your engine. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. For this afternoon, sunny, high near 64. Tonight, mostly clear, low 38. Monday, it'll be mostly sunny, high near 69. Patchy frost before 9 a.m. Partly cloudy Monday night, low 48. On Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high 75. A 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Did you know Fear Buick GMC in Hamilton has been family owned and operated and serving the Tri-State since 1932? Isn't that the kind of dealership you want to buy your next car from? And because of that success, Fear Buick GMC announces their upcoming move later this year to their new 26,000 square foot location between Menards and Kohl's near Bridgewater Falls. Come see Ray Tenley, Fear's general manager for the past 25 years, and tell him Dipsticks and Deals said you. Call 513-863-8111 or visit fearmotors.com. That's FIEHRER Motors.com. Laura Ingram?
Yeah, ding, 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 ding.
We've got an app for that.
Oh, fantastic.
Download TuneIn Radio for your Android, iPhone, or BlackBerry. And listen to Real Talk 1160 anywhere, anytime.
Your healthy radio addiction.
Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint of Northern Kentucky. This is Don. May I help you?
Don, this is Rick from 1160, man.
Hey, Rick. How are you doing?
Not good. Okay, long story short, Pecoro loaned me his car to go pick up his dry cleaning, and on my way out, I backed right into a light pole. He is going to kill me.
All right, Rick. Settle down. Bring it in. I'll personally inspect the damage. I'm positive we can take care of it with no problem at all.
You are the man. But Don, this has to stay between me and you.
Hi, I'm Don Metalka, owner of Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint. Bring your damaged vehicle, and I will personally take the time to show you why Reincarnation is different. We're flexible with your deductible, and I know my experience with handling insurance companies will help you get your repairs done smoothly. Just Google Reincarnation of Northern Kentucky, where we bring good cars back to life. Reincarnation Auto Body and Paint, Don Metalka speaking.
Hey, Don, it's Pecoro. See, I was out driving in the wife's van, and I drove by your lot, and I thought I saw a car that looked like mine.
Yeah, that's a popular color.
The prospect of retirement can be exciting and scary at the same time. At Brown Financial Advisors, we have found many people either approaching or currently in retirement fail to truly maximize some of the benefits offered to them, primarily Social Security. What is it? How does it work? Because these decisions are so important, our firm has assembled an informational packet on Social Security. If you'd like your complimentary copy of Social Security Maximization, call Brown Financial Advisors today at 513-575-9654. That's 575-9654.
I'm Ellie the Mammoth, and my friend Sid the Sloth knows what being a great parent is all about.
I'm responsible, loving, nurturing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Imagine you're reaching for a pen when you slip and, yep, there goes your coffee, right onto your computer. If you're one of the almost 50% of small businesses that don't back up their PCs, you've just lost data, and there's a good chance you'll lose sales. From human error to natural disasters, or even those little oops moments, there's always a risk of your computer system going down, and that could really hurt your business. Take it from Doug McDonald at the Cincinnati Museum Center.
Like every other business, data is critically important. We have over 80,000 records of donors and members who are critical to our livelihood.
That may be enough to make you give up coffee forever, but there's a better way. How does the Museum Center do it?
Cincinnati Bell is a wonderful partner, and with them, I don't worry about these things. That gives me peace of mind.
So don't swear off coffee just yet, because Cincinnati Bell is now offering data backup, part of our Peace of Mind suite. Get 25 gigs for just $25 for 12 months. Now that should help you relax, unless you've had too much coffee. Just call 513-2-BUNDLE or visit myrightsolution.com/backup. Cincinnati Bell, right here for you.
If you drive a car, you must have this number, 1-800-828-0159. The number to STI Towing, the Tri-State's towing pros. STI handles most motor clubs, including AAA, and they offer prompt, courteous, and professional service all day and all night. Mention Real Talk 1160 and the first 5 miles are free. That's 1-800-828-0159. 1-800-828-0159 for STI Towing.
Hit us up on Facebook. Search Real Talk 1160.
Sticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160. We're talking rides at random, throwing out some hot cars, either cars we'd like to own, cars that we have owned. I left off actually talking about the new Nissan GT-R Spec V, the V6 545 horsepower 6-speed car. This thing can actually run a standard slalom course at 74.9 miles per hour.
Do you still have yours?
No. It pulls 1.12 Gs on launch, has titanium exhaust, carbon ceramic brake rotors, fully adjustable coilover suspension, capable of a 10.8 quarter-mile time.
That's unbelievable.
This car is known as Godzilla. And I brought this car up first because in the news we talked about the hot GT500 Mustang, which is just unbelievable American muscle. Right. And very proud, and that's the car that I would choose to own. But you got to understand that this Nissan car is a 6-cylinder. It is not a V8. It is twin-turboed. But to be able to produce those kind of performance stats out of a V6 car is just unbelievable.
Because of the launch.
That launch mode,
the propane.
Of the propane. That's where we left off. When Third Wheel thought that in the movie Fast and Furious they were flipping a switch and injecting propane in their engines. Then we had to explain to him how that was nitrous oxide. And now the CO2 injected thing is getting popular too. And I don't know if it's I think that's probably more expensive than nitrous.
And we saw one of those at Easy Street Customs.
Easy Street Speed and Custom had a CO2 injected Ford Focus, one of those V-Spec Focuses, which was a pretty cool car too. What do you got over there, Coltrane?
Well, I'll tell you what I got. I got two friends of mine that own this car that I'm getting ready to read.
Okay.
And their name is Debbie and Chico.
Debbie and Chico.
Yeah, they're about the only two people to put up with me. And I love them to death, so hello out there. And they own a 66 Impala convertible.
That's a good one.
283 in it.
Yep.
It is an automatic. It is a beautiful car.
You said it was a convertible?
It is a convertible. He's selling it. I'm trying to trade him a pack of ramen noodles a week for it. He won't go for it. He says, no, Coltrane, you're going to have to come up with cash. But he is selling it for $12,500 if anybody out there is interested. Anyone's interested, just email the show.
That's a nice ride right there.
That's
now.
A big car. That's a very big car.
That is a big car, but that's when Impalas were Impalas. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Biscayne era, that especially in a convertible, when you can cruise like the Impala or a Cadillac convertible, that's the cat's meow.
Well, that just reminds me when you're talking about the Impala, I was telling Jimmy B about my dad's Impala. He had a 62, I think it was.
Right.
Convertible. He gave it to his nephew, my cousin, to drive, making sure, signing the title over to his mom so they can insure it, making sure he gets it back. Well, they sold it. Guess how much?
How much?
$500.
$500.
Wow.
My dad was furious.
Oh my goodness!
First of all, it was his car. Second of all, it was a nice car. Third of all, they sold it for $500.
Well, this Impala here that I'm talking about is just as straight as they come. It is a beautiful car.
Original?
It is original, and I can't believe he's selling it. I think it's crazy. I'd keep it right where it's sitting.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do for them is send me a picture of it, and we'll throw it up on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Then people can see the car that you're talking about and know that they can actually own it.
Well, I'm sure they would appreciate that.
We'll do that. You got another one there?
Yeah, Yeah, I know you're going to like this because at one time we all had Jeeps.
Yes, we did.
I had a 1976 Jeep CJ7.
Oh, yeah.
Big, bright yellow one, jacked up. My Jeep had a 304 cubic inch, 5.0 liter.
Right.
AMC V8.
That's what makes those cars cool. Because a lot of those guys took those Jeep CJs and put Chevrolet and Buick V6s in them.
Right, that's what I'm saying. A lot of them had 6s.
And ours had the original 304s.
The 304, got a lot of power, 5-speed manual transmission. I am not going to go into width and all that stuff, but the height didn't matter because we had lift kits.
Yes.
Remember, we lift those things up with those huge tires.
Yeah.
Then I had the blackjack headers, cherry bomb mufflers, full roll cage, and those thick steel bumpers. And I cannot remember how thick were those? Those things were giant. I mean,
they were probably 1/8-inch thick steel tube.
Yeah, they were tanks.
Yeah, some of them were modded to be air tanks.
And before it was Dravo, gravel-rama, all that stuff, it was just a flat gravel pit. We'd take them down there.
Right. Yeah, illegally, so to speak. But back then, they didn't really come after you for doing that kind of stuff in off-road. Now I don't know that you get away with it.
And the only problem we had with those was when you had those tailpipes coming out the side, you're at a stop.
Yeah, when you're a stoplight and you got it's a glass pack muffler, but it's really kind of an open exhaust.
Right.
Turned out right at somebody's driver window.
Goes right up to you with no doors, and you pass out at the light.
Yeah, people didn't appreciate that much. And then the leader of the Jeep Club had the ultimate, the one that was in Cavalcade, Rich Meyer.
Well, him and Tommy Reeder.
Yeah, Reader had they
had fives.
Yeah, they had CJ 5s, 40-inch tires under them, show quality vehicles that they both. I can't speak for Reader's Jeep, but I know Rich Meyer put his Jeep together himself, everything on it.
I think Reader did too, but I'm not sure.
But really cool. That's a good one.
They were sharp, very clean from top to bottom.
Those are fun rolling in them things. They got they're made to roll, so might as well roll them.
And they bring big money now too, man.
I know, that's what's amazing. I paid $500 for mine.
Yeah, and they bring some big bucks. I got another one, and I've got a European tone, high end. Just so you know, Aston Martin's Vanquish S. This is a car that was in one of the Bond movies too, the last one. He drove a Vanquish. 5.9 liter V12, 565 horsepower. They call this a front mid-engine because it's a front-engine car, but it's set back so far into the firewall, it's like a front mid-engine car. Instead of being mid behind the driver's seat, it's right in front of you.
So what's in front of it?
The radiator.
The road.
That big?
It's a V12, son.
Oh, okay.
It's very long.
Yeah.
6-speed semi-automatic transmission. This car has a carbon fiber body, carbon ceramic brakes with 6 pistons apiece, has an aluminum and titanium suspension, includes 3-way adjustable shock dampening system, which my Z has, and that is very cool. 0 to 60 mile per hour rating is 3.8 seconds. Top speed clocked at 183 miles an hour. Now, this Aston is known. This is what it's known for. It's got all the horsepower and all that kind of stuff, but this car will cruise effortlessly and comfortably at 150 mile an hour, sustained for several hundred miles. If you've ever watched the British version of Top Gear, they took one of these Vanquish S cars and did exactly that. They ran at between 140 and 160 miles an hour, one finger on the steering wheel for about 500 miles, and just cruised at that speed. So that speaks volumes as to what that car's capable of. That's just an amazing car. And you can see one, if you see the movie, the new Bond movie, or the most recent one, I should say, this is what he was driving. Very cool car. And really what we'll do is throughout the rest of the week, we'll post these cars that we're talking about on our Facebook page and website so you can see what we're talking about.
I have another good one.
What do you got?
Now, this car is actually funny when you think about today's standards that this car got away with being made. Was the 1974 Cobra II Mustang.
Oh, I remember that car.
Now, this car had a 302 4-speed in it with 14-inch tires.
Yeah.
Now, how they got away with that? I used to own one.
Yeah.
Of course, it was primer gray.
Of course.
And didn't have all the racing stripes and ground effects kit, but that car was dangerous.
Yes, it was.
That was a very dangerous car. I had to get rid of that quick. But you remember how small them things were?
They were small. They were fastback. These are the ones, if you remember, had the giant Cobra on the hood.
Yeah, they were usually black with the gold.
Black with gold. There was white with orange.
Oh, that's right, yep.
They had only a few. They were limited in color package, but that stripe package on that car was just, it had that giant Cobra snake on the hood, big hood scoop. And yeah. I mean, for a Mustang, just a regular old-school Mustang, or even in the late 80s models, which were very fast Mustangs, that platform with that short rear end and a rear-wheel drive, just you got to know how to drive those cars.
Yeah, I think I only used the 2 gears in that car when I drove. I didn't need first and second. It was third and fourth is all I need.
That's another good one. That should be a car of the week coming up. Probably in the next couple of weeks.
What's that, the 82 Scirocco?
Is that the one you got up next?
I had a 1982 Scirocco, which I was made fun of because no one could pronounce it when it first came out.
This is rides at random for sure because that's really random.
That was random.
Now, they made what was their STI version or
GTI.
something? GTI.
Those were fast cars.
They were fast. They were a little fast 4-banger.
Yeah. What else can you tell us about that in about a minute?
Probably not much.
I know you were telling me they weren't as good looking as you thought they were.
No, they weren't. I thought they were more rounded in the front, but they had that rounded back end.
A lot of girls drove those kind of cars, right?
I drove one. It was a 291,497 were actually produced, and they came with different engines like you were talking about, but they also had the 1.8-liter DOC, 16-valve.
That's DOC.
D-O-H-C.
D-O-H-C. It's not DOC like German.
No.
Doc Propane over there.
Hey, and a matter of fact, making fun of me about protein.
Stop.
No.
What does DAOHC, real quick for the break, what's it stand for?
done over here.
Yes, you are. I'll tell the listeners what it means when we come back. Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.
Looking for adventure and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. For this afternoon, sunny, high near 64. Tonight, mostly clear, low 38. Monday, it'll be mostly sunny, high near 69. Patchy frost before 9 a.m. Partly cloudy Monday night, low 48. On Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high 75. A 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. From the Real Talk 1160 WeatherBug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Do you suffer from pain like joint pain, muscle pain, back pain, or painful arthritis? Then you must listen to this important message. Nearly half of all Americans suffer from some kind of pain due to chronic inflammation. Anettablock is a breakthrough supplement scientifically proven to quickly and effectively reduce inflammation and get rid of pain. Anettablock is so effective in preventing excessive inflammation and reducing the pain, we guarantee you'll feel a significant difference in just a few days. Best of all, Anettablock is now available to try for free. That's right. Call 800-880-0875 now and get out of pain absolutely free. Anettablock is now looking for real-life testimonials for anyone who has back pain, muscle pain, or painful arthritis. Call 800-880-0875 to get your free supply and get out of pain today. Just call 800-880-0875 for details. Call today, 800-880-0875. That's 800-880-0875. Again, 800-880-0875.
Savage. Here is a definition of whether you're a liberal or a conservative. You ready for this one? Liberals are rushing to understand our enemy. They're buying books. They're wringing their hands. They're always trying to understand what they did wrong. That's a liberal. The conservative doesn't care what he wears, what he calls himself. When he sees him coming to kill his wife and children, he shoots him. He doesn't wring his hands and study, get a book out on the guy's belief system. How could you still be a liberal?
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160. We know you should be working, but seeing as you're on Facebook already, why not flip over to the 1160 page and tell us what you think? Then go to 1160.com and listen while you're online. We're worldwide. Real Talk 1160.
Hi, I'm Jeff Pecora, one of the voices of the Cincinnati Reds, and I'm here with Colleen Hawes, owner of the premier casual upscale restaurant, Grandview Tavern and Grill.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a place where business meets casual in a social setting. Come enjoy our New York strips, bacon-wrapped shrimp and grits, or specials like pan-seared sea bass, and don't skip dessert. I promise they are worth the calories.
My wife can't get enough of your handmade specialty pizzas, and I love train beers.
Nothing's better than watching our Reds win on one of our 16 flat-screen TVs.
I found the Grandview Tavern and Grill to be the best place for lunch meetings with incredible food and impeccable service.
I'm so excited to be out on the patio again. We pack them in out there. Whether you're here to network for business, have an intimate dinner for two, or dance the night away to live music under the stars, this place is for everyone.
Yeah, since coming to the Grandview Tavern, we feel more comfortable than any of the other restaurants. And by the way, Colleen, your outdoor patio rocks.
Jeff, you're too much. Just Google Grandview Tavern and Grill for the latest happenings and list of music.
Savage. How could you still be a liberal? Everything that the Enlightenment stands for, they stand against. So how can you as a liberal not comprehend what you're fighting for here?
Michael Savage, weekdays at noon on Real Talk 1160.
In November 2004, Jose was sentenced to 8 years for committing a gun crime. His wife, Isabel, was left alone.
Where were you when the police arrested him?
I was at the house. I was getting ready for work, and my dad was there also. The boys were asleep.
Did it scare you?
It did, but mostly for the boys because, I didn't want for them to wake up to that. It was mostly for them that I was worried.
What about that first night alone after he was arrested?
And I'm sure that whole first week was probably crying myself to sleep.
How often do you think about Jose?
Constantly. It's kind of hard, especially with the boys that are spitting images of him.
Is it hard without Jose at home?
Yeah, it is hard. You're still waiting for that day for him to come back.
What do you miss most of all?
Just having that family. And now it's not there.
When you commit a gun crime, your family serves the sentence with you. Gun crimes hit home. Brought to you by Project Safe Neighborhoods and the Ad Council.
Real stories, real drama. Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160.
That's us.
We're doing rides at random, talking about random cars that we've owned, would like to own, or what have you. And I know Third Wheel left off on the Scirocco.
Just kind of strange.
But he owned one of those, and he thinks it was a really cool Volkswagen.
It was a cool Volkswagen. It's pretty fast.
The newer ones were more rounded.
Did it have
the later
propane
models.
Yeah, the later models. And they actually have one now still.
Yeah, they do. And it's more rounded.
It was the pronunciation of it that my friends had a hard time with.
What would they call it? Scirocco?
Scirocco. And that was like really unnecessary. It was Scirocco.
Are you done with the Scirocco?
I think he needs to be done with
Unless you want to learn about the bore and the stroke.
No.
I don't know it either.
How about a Lamborghini Murcielago?
He's got all these exotic, expensive cars that no normal working
Some
man
type
can
overseas
afford.
bank account we don't know about.
It's rides at random. And going from a Volkswagen Scirocco to a Lamborghini Murcielago makes sense. This is the LP640 SV, 6.5-liter V12, 630 horsepower, mid-engine, 6-speed manual or automatic, take your choice, all-wheel drive, 0 to 60, 2.9 seconds.
That's fantastic.
0 to 120.
That scared me to death. I ain't lying.
0 to 125 miles an hour in 7.4 seconds.
Okay, why?
I can't get through from a stoplight in 7.4 seconds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You get first gear, boom, you're at the next stoplight.
Did you say why?
Yeah, why? You can't go that fast on the road.
This car runs consistent 10-second quarter miles through the traps at 130 mile an hour. The Murcielago also has a top speed of 221 miles per hour. 15-inch carbon ceramic brakes. The body on this car is basically carbon fiber and aluminum, and it has the signature Lambo doors on it.
And you know who's going to catch him?
Not you.
The
Not
Italianos.
you. Well, that's because the Italianos actually have these cars as pursuit vehicles.
They do. Lamborghini Gallardo.
They have to in order to catch this stuff.
Well, that's just crazy.
Gallardo.
We'll see. Wow, third wheel.
And I think we can all agree, though, that the Italians have the best names for automobiles. Diablo. Murcielago.
Gallardo.
Those are some cool car names.
Makes me hungry.
Whereas in the U.S., we name cars Beaver.
Pinto.
Yeah. Vega.
Yeah.
Gremlin.
Pacer.
I don't have any more.
LTD.
Yeah, what was that?
88.
88, 98.
98.
Yeah.
What brainiacs?
Yeah, why can't we name our cars cool like that?
Avero.
Did you say Aveo? Or Alero?
Yugo.
Okay. Do we have anything else on this, or are we going to put this one in the
Well,
trash?
yeah, I got one more because Third Wheel's been in Germany. You've been in Italy. I'm bringing it back to America.
What do you got?
Cletus. I got the 1964 Chevy Nova 2.
That's a good one.
Another $500 car.
With 327 4-speed. That's a beautiful automobile. Now, you remember that Easy Street car show we went to? There was a red one.
Yes, I do.
Boy, that caught my eye. That wasn't that pretty.
That was a little hard top. That thing was nice.
Yeah, but that's the heartbeat of America right there. That's a beautiful car.
That was the old Edgewater car. Between that and the 75. Remember that?
But those are still hot at Edgewater.
I know, but you remember
And
that everybody
Tri-State
who
Home.
went back in the day went up there to drag race, they would get that Nova.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of the more popular body styles to race now.
Kropfeld family.
But they're extremely expensive now, I reckon.
Well, it's hard
13,
to find a good
14,000
one because a
or more.
lot of them ended up on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Okay, let's end it right there in America.
Well, let me finish with this one because we talked about earlier the Mustang 2 Cobra. You mentioned one, Third Wheel, about the back end getting skirtish. This was on the new Mustang, I think we were talking about.
Right.
You know, with the 84 Porsche 930, which had a 3.3 intercooled 6-cylinder turbo engine in it, this car actually drew a lot of lawsuits for that. And the reason is this is a pure driver's car. If you don't know how to drive this car, you have no business driving the car.
Absolutely.
What happens with the turbo on this thing when you're going through a curve, if you don't know where to keep the accelerator and the RPMs up to keep the turbo engaged and spooled up, you get what's called turbo lag. To an inexperienced turbo car driver, that feels almost like you put the brakes on. So your immediate response is to hit the gas pedal. You unspool the turbo in a curve, that car would light up to about 8,000 RPM and send you sideways. And people were getting killed.
Yeah, you're going to be spinning out.
Yeah, so there were actually a number of lawsuits relative to this car. If you bought one of these cars, which they all have traction control and stability control and stuff now, but back in the day, if you bought one of these cars, you had to go through a Porsche training before they would let you take delivery of this car. They would take you to a track like up at Mid-Ohio and show you how to drive this car. And if you couldn't drive it, you couldn't own it.
Do you have to buy the car, or can you just go up to the track and say, "Teach me"?
No, you've got to.
I think they'll do a background check on your financials.
Yeah, they're going to put it. You're going to have to put some cash down because even back then it was a $60,000-$70,000 car, and now it's over $100,000.
Easy.
It's that's a driver's car. I just wanted to throw that in there. The Porsche 930, which is actually a 911, and they have versions, the Carrera and all that stuff. That's
an awesome car.
This is the car you seen back in the 80s that had the whale tail on it.
I thought it was the 14. No, the whale tail had 11. The 14 was the junk.
The 14, yeah.
Was a big fat Scirocco.
Yeah,
well, the 14 looked like a Carmagia.
The 914?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not a good.
Yeah, it's like the Scirocco.
Carmagia. Remember that car?
Yeah, Carmagia was cool. We talked about those a couple of weeks
ago. You could really make them look really neat.
We're going to end this segment. Those are some cool cars. The ones we talked about, we'll put on Facebook. Stop clapping.
Golf clap.
The American Engine likes to hear about this stuff because
That's
they
cool.
didn't know what a Murcielago was. And there's some young listeners, that had no idea that you actually owned a Scirocco.
I think that's the more interesting point.
With clean propane fuel.
What color
ran
was
on
it?
propane, and it was a car that girls like to drive.
Well, what was the color
and Third
of
Wheel
that car?
had one.
Well, you need to answer that question,
What's that?
sir. What was the color? Because that's going to...
It was bright red.
Well,
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
It matched the color of your purse.
Moving forward, I know Third Wheel's been itching to talk about a segment that wasn't formatted. So if this doesn't go well, it's on him. What were we going to talk about?
You sent an email stating that you would like us to come up with things that cops, not to say to cops, things not that a salesman would not say to you, and then a service person not say to me or you.
I sent that email?
Yes, you did.
I didn't get no email.
That was a test email to see if you listened.
But then
I had
again,
my email.
I did.
Okay, well,
So-
let's go forward.
All right.
What do we got?
What do you want to do with the cops?
Let's do the cops.
All right. Top 10 things not to say to a cop, or more.
Yeah,
So
there
you
could
guys
be
can
more,
chime
'cause
in.
Coltrane
Yeah.
could probably try and chime in with
Well,
that.
I probably said all 10 of these.
Now, when I
things.
researched this, I was trying to, look on the internet and see who said what, but there were 10 personal things that I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
because you were a cop, so you should know.
Yeah. So,
Please continue.
want to do it my personal ones or others?
I don't care what you
All
do.
right, let's
Third
do
Wheel.
with what
Just
the
do
internet.
something.
Internet says, I can't reach. This is what somebody would say. You don't want to say to a cop. I can't reach my license unless you hold my beer.
Yeah.
Kenny.
I did.
I got you on that one, brother.
He's lining it out.
He is. He's crossing
He's
it out.
lining it out on his notebook. Yep, I said that one.
I thought you had to be in a relatively good physical shape to be a police officer.
Oh, wow.
Now let me say,
but
these,
there's some truth to that.
back in the old days, there were some
And
of these things
I
you
love
say.
Police officers, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, back in the old days, there's some things you're saying here that's going to get you whooped.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Get the old nightstick
I don't
or
think
the
it's a good
ginormous
idea
flashlight.
to say that now because there are some large and in charge police.
Yeah, they got cameras
people.
and videos and all stuff.
None in the Cincinnati area though.
No,
They're
not
all
at all.
very fit and trim. Please continue.
Bad cop, no donut.
Oh,
Donuts make me mad.
Have you ever had somebody reference the donut thing to you when you were
Oh, too many times.
really?
Yes.
And we'd like to know: is there truth? Because there's always some.
The
truth
reason there
in
was some
everything.
truth about the donuts is because those were the only shops that were open at the time. Then along came the bagel shops. So now it went from old cops drinking coffee and donuts to newer cops having bagels and latte.
Well, I would always just carry a thing of donuts with me in case I got pulled over. I just hand it out the window. But that never worked, so I was understanding.
I would take those donuts and just start smashing the face with them.
Well, that's what he did.
Taco Bell's open late. How come they don't have that? How come there's not that reference? How come you don't hear a lot of cop and taco
Because
jokes?
they'd say that's racist.
Because when you go when you go into a Taco Bell, it's hard to be a cop and go through a drive-thru. You never know if you're going to get that cop burger.
Oh, that's right. Spitting on my onion rings.
Doing whatever you're doing in my food. It was a very
Well, you could do some nasty things to some donuts too.
Yeah, but you're watching. It's right there. They're gonna you're going to go into the donut place and you're going to see them grab it. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
You can't really see other foods being
Wow.
made, but we have more.
We're going to get to some more because these are quite interesting. So Stay tuned. Dipsticks and Deals on Real Talk 1160.
Weather when you need it. Your Real Talk 1160 forecast every 15 minutes.
Here's the forecast for northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and the Tri-State. For this afternoon, sunny, high near 64. Tonight, mostly clear, low 38. Monday, it'll be mostly sunny, high near 69. Patchy frost before 9 a.m. Partly cloudy Monday night, low 48. On Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high 75. A 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. From the Real Talk 1160 Weatherbug Forecast Center, this is Jim Tice.
Between the economy and the price of gas, how about a way to save some money for a change? Lower your insurance premium with help from Huseman Schmidt Insurance. They understand more than most because they've been local, family-owned, and part of your community since 1976. Huseman Schmidt's expertise and common sense approach have helped their clients protect their assets and save money. For all your business and personal insurance needs, call Huseman Schmidt at 513-521-8590 and ask for Rob or AJ, or visit HusemanSchmidt.com. Huseman Schmidt cares.
I don't want to get off on a rant here, but extreme sports? Folks, let's call this what it is. Weird shit invented by guys who are willing to die to get laid.
Dennis Miller, weeknights at 10 on Real Talk 1160.
You want speed? You want power? You want style? You want something that turns heads? Then you want Easy Street Speed and Customs in Milford. Easy Street offers everything from minor repairs to full restoration, custom builds, late model mod, performance parts, and an on-site dyno for real performance tuning. Hot rods and cool rides at Easy Street Speed and Custom, 701 Chamber Drive in Milford, 513-831-7550. That's 513-831-7550.
Please listen closely. We have some great news. Most people today are spending way too much for their cell phone service. Now introducing a plan never heard of before. You can get unlimited voice, texting, and data for only $49 a month, and get this, no contract. More great news, it's on one of the top 3 carriers, far surpassing the service of AT&T according to Consumers Report. Now, are you ready for this? You can share this great news with friends and family, and when you do, you can actually get paid for using your cell phone. And folks, that's only the beginning. There's too much to share during this short time. If you'd like to save money or see an opportunity that could change your life, call me right now at 734-480-9000. Ask for John. Please don't pass up an opportunity that could save you money and possibly change your life without at least getting more information. Call me right now at 734-480-9000. That's 734-480-9000.
Did you know that recycling one aluminum can saves enough energy to operate your TV set for 3 hours? Not only does recycling save energy in landfill space, the processing of scrap, copper, stainless steel, and aluminum helps make it possible for all of us to enjoy an affordable standard of living. At Bluegrass Recycling in Burlington, they value your business and won't use derogatory terms to describe your valuable scrap metal and recycling efforts. Bluegrass Recycling in Burlington, committed to our community and working with law enforcement to prevent metal theft.
Listen to what's new.
Well, I don't think the Secret Service agents in question were on their best behavior. They're in a little bit of trouble and probably going to have to do some explaining.
Lucy, what have you got to say for yourself?
The Mike Huckabee Show, weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Talk 1160.
Hey, it's the Wild Man for Cincinnati's oldest bar, Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington. Whether it's dining in the restaurant or relaxing in Willie's humongous bar, anyone who loves sports can vouch for Willie's in Covington. Come out on Saturdays for college football with ESPN Game Day and $12 buckets of beer. Sundays, it's the NFL Sunday Ticket and $7.50 personal pitchers. And for Monday Night Football, grab $2.50 big drafts and Bengals commemorative cups. The sports on Willie's huge flat screens throughout the restaurant and the bar. You'll never miss a play. Before the Bengals game, take the Willie's shuttle to the stadium for $3, then back to Willie's and celebrate a Bengals win. Willie's Covington has unbelievable happy hour prices Monday through Friday from 1 to 7. Take it from the Wild Man. You're going to love Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington. Just over the bridge on 75 South. Take the first exit, turn right, then left into Willie's Sports Cafe in Covington, or visit online, williescovington.com.
Michael Savage, weekdays noon to 3, Real Talk 1160.
Dipsticks and Deals, Real Talk 1160. Third Wheel's here doing strange things with his headphones. But we were talking about things that you never say to a cop when you get pulled over.
Right, but there's something else you want to say before this.
The thing I wanted to say before this is if you want to get involved as a sponsor of Dipsticks and Deals here on Real Talk 1160, go to dipsticksanddeals.com and check out the Advertise with D&D tab. We would love to have you here on the show. We'd love to take you to Cavalcade with us. We're available for events, bar mitzvahs,
weddings.
So check it out. We have a lot of fun. You will too. We've got the lowest rates on media advertising anywhere in the city. So check it out. Third Wheel, things that you should never say to a cop. We left off with the donuts and...
Yeah, I'm just tired of reading somebody else's stuff. I'm going to read my own that I used to hate.
Okay, this should be good.
Because we were short on time.
Go ahead.
So, I had one here where a guy passed and no passing, signs.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled him over. He goes, I don't know. I'm from Kentucky. So he's basically saying our signs are different.
Oh, I use that one all the time.
Aren't they different?
No.
Okay.
Another one was I was following a DUI. She wouldn't pull over. She finally pulled over into a driveway. Apparently it was her house. She got out of the car. Ha ha. I'm home. You can't touch me.
Oh.
Wrong.
Did you say this isn't base?
Yeah, I let her dance for a while and do the touchdown dance. Took her to jail. Next one was, man, you can't touch me, you security guard.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently he didn't read.
I bet you tased him, didn't you?
No, I didn't have a taser back then.
You
just had a
clubbed him?
big flashlight with 4D batteries.
Ow.
The other one was, you touch me, I'll kill you.
Oh, that's a dumb thing to say to a cop in any circumstance.
Because I am trained to touch you and not kill you.
You know what else is dumb to say to a cop?
What's that?
Back off, Barney.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
They don't like that. Or how many of you got one bullet? Like Barney.
Yeah, Barney Five.
Carried
they call
bullet
us
in his pocket. Did they call you Barney Five?
Yeah, they called us 5-0.
5-0?
Like Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah.
Or White Devil. Different names.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what?
Send those emails to
I'm just telling you what people said.
The Third Wheel at dipsticksanddeals.com.
You can't catch me? That was a good one? That was a good one when you're younger, not when you're older, because you say, oh, yeah, I can't.
Well, it's kind of stupid if to say you can't catch me after the cop has caught you.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't catch me, but you cannot run my radio either.
You totally missed it. Please continue.
Yeah. If you let me go, I will. And that's what certain drunk people used to say. Women.
A bribe.
I will what?
I don't know. Whatever, fill in the blank.
No, tell us.
No, I can't.
Buy you a donut?
Sure. You aren't blank without that badge and gun.
You aren't handsome.
That could be. Or the nasty word for poop.
Number 2?
Number 2?
You aren't number 2 without that badge and gun.
Wow.
That made me mad. I pay your salary. And they're on welfare.
Oh.
Wow, man.
No.
Ruthless.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Ruthless. I don't pay any cop's salary. They earn their cash. Please continue.
This is what drunks used to always say at bars like Eli's and stuff like that back in the day. Come here, officer. Give me a hug.
Oh.
I am not touching you. Don't ever, ever ask me for a hug.
That is weird.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cops out there that might need a hug.
Well, you can't do that because they got a pistol on their side.
I've got personal
As long
space.
as you don't touch it.
I got personal space.
Well, they don't know
is
that you're
true.
not going to touch it. That's why they don't want to hug.
Stay away from me.
Okay, please
All right.
continue.
None of your business.
Oh, is that what they say when you pull more? Ain't none of your
Well,
business.
I have to argue that. My wife can attest to this. I told a cop that once.
Mm-hmm. How'd it go?
It went. I got the ticket. I knew I was going to get the ticket because I was guilty of speeding. So I knew I was going to get the ticket. But he didn't just come up and take care of business at hand. He said, he asked me, where are you going?
Oh.
And I said, it's none of your business.
Oh. Did you tell him to an FOP union meeting?
What?
No, but I'd have thought quicker. No, I did. He come up and he says, where are you going to? And I said, well, really, I don't think it's any of your business. I'm going that way. I was speeding.
No, I
and you
agree with
caught
that.
me.
That's fine, yeah.
Give me the ticket. Right. I don't have to tell you where I'm going,
Right.
where I'm, unless you're investigating a crime.
Right.
He didn't say that he was.
You just don't say, you're not going to look in the trunk, are you?
Yeah, that's another one out here.
They don't. They actually step right out and cuff you at that point.
That happened, though, when I lived in another state, because I would never do that here.
Kentucky.
The law enforcement officers are just of the highest caliber in the tri-state.
Didn't you just say earlier that
Please
brown-nosing
continue.
police is a good thing?
No, I did not say that.
No, didn't you say?
That's all good.
No, another one I thought was stupid was who me, and you're the only person I'm coming to talk to.
Oh, I do have one
yeah.
more.
No, your mom. Yeah,
And
you.
only
Yeah.
because I am guilty of this. But doing a field sobriety test after you have been drinking and driving your car, and while they make you walk that line, you say, "Well, this would be hard even if I was sober."
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good
Yeah,
thing
it's
to
pretty
say.
admission of guilt there.
And we don't advocate for drinking and driving under
No.
any circumstances. And
The poster child is right here.
that's right. And Kenny could be on his bike and have to. You can get
a DUI.
I
you
do
can get
have one
DUI
on my
a
bike.
bicycle.
I got an OVI on my bicycle.
Wow. He even knows all the terminology.
He knows the law book better than I do.
Well, the siren scared me, and I went off the highway, and I went down this embankment and through the woods. But you know what? That cop kept on following me.
Was he on a bike or a horse?
No, he was on his car. He thought I was running from him, so he called in all the boys, and I just was wrecking. I wasn't running from him, but they didn't see it that way. Helicopters, everything.
What else you got?
I got more, but I'm not going to say any more. It just gets me angry. So I have things about salesmen.
Salesman.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 top things that you'll never hear a car salesman say to you.
Okay.
If you don't like our prices, you can kiss our butt.
Grits.
Ass. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think a salesman's ever going to say that to a customer.
I don't know if I can, but if I could, would you buy the car?
I've heard them say that.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
Oh, they may not be supposed to say that, but
they did.
I've heard them say it.
We knew it had that problem. That's why it's priced so low.
Wow. Yeah, that would be bad.
People with bad credit are driving everywhere.
Not good.
Nope. And then here's some things that I've heard, or I won't say how I heard, but this car has been totally rebuilt.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one.
This car has a new paint job since its accident. Thank you, but I could have taken another $500 off.
Since
after I
Coltrane
sold you
drove
the
it.
car.
Not good, not good.
I will not lie to you.
Which is a lie in and of itself.
Let's not haggle over the price. Here's what I paid for it. Salesman would never tell a customer.
No.
I really don't care about your issues. Do you want to buy the car or not?
That's what he's thinking.
That's what he's thinking.
That's what they're thinking a lot more than that.
Because really, think about how much time they spend with a person. My dad had one of these Ford
You know what,
Mustang
though,
4s.
in defense of a salesperson that sells automobiles, because the process does take so long, when the deal don't go down at the end, I mean, they're going to be frustrated, rightfully so, to some degree. They've just worked 3-4 hours sometimes diligently to help somebody get a car, and then it goes south. I can see them being upset. Wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
Did you play tennis when you had that Scirocco?
The Scirocco?
Were you a tennis player?
Nope.
Just putting the things together.
I just felt German.
We've got a tech tip of the week.
Why?
You know what? I'm going to read the tech tip of the week, and the first line is 1967, so I know I'm on the wrong page. This tech tip does not come from Wilson Pickett. It does come from Kevin Hamilton from Auto Authority in Bainbridge, Massachusetts. If you typically keep a car past the factory warranty period, consider the cost of repairing accessory items such as navigation, backup cameras, heated seats, etc. There are actually vehicles made today that have headlamps that cost $1,000 a piece.
Wow.
And that is the truth, and that's a good tip when you're buying a car. If it's something you're going to keep longer than the warranty period, think of an accident, think of the maintenance, think of when things break down. All this new gadgetry is really cool, but it costs a lot of money to repair, so keep that in mind. It's bad enough you got to buy $1,000, $1,200 worth of tires when they wear out. Consider these kind of things, too.
Well, next week I hope we talk about windshield wipers.
Why?
Mine, I don't know, man. Mine just is not doing its job.
Okay.
All right, next week, remember the question if you want to answer this about our 25.
Or if you don't.
I don't care. How many meals per year does a typical person eat in a car?
Oh, that's right. Oh,
We
I
got a
almost
song
answered.
of the week.
What is the song of the week? 1967 by Wilson Pickett, Mustang Sally. Number 6 on the R&B charts and 23rd on the pop charts in 67. The song was originally recorded by Mac Rice 2 years earlier.
I'd like to have a name Mac.
I don't know, but I just break it down.
Mac Rice.
Mac Rice.
Mac Rice. But my friends call me Steve.
All right, that's it for this week. We'll be back for another round next Sunday, 9 to 11 on Real Talk 1160. Dipsticks and Deals.
Bye, y'all.